Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's dedicated towards creating narcissistic abuse awareness and more so from a biblical standpoint. And I'll also be discussing other general life issues. Today I'm going to be continuing with the subject I'd started on about invalidation. Today I'm going to specifically be looking at how narcissists invalidate you. I wrote down some ways in which narcissists will invalidate you, and the very first one they will do is neglecting you. There isn't any other way a narcissist will invalidate you minus neglecting you. The very first thing they always do is to neglect you, because they know and understand the power of not being recognized, of not being accommodated, of not being aware of. Because these people here dealt with it in childhood, no one was there to mirror to them, no one was there tuned to them. So their entire lives they have lived without anyone actually knowing they are there. And that's why they faked up this pseudo image which they have walked around with. They are aware people see this pseudo image which they love, but they know no one loves them. That's why you hear them a lot of times, no one loves me, no one likes me, no one likes me. They know what it means to be ignored. They know what it means to be not recognized. They know what it means to be invalidated. Your entire existence rests on it. If no one recognizes you, literally you are empty, like you're non-existent. So these people here know the power of not recognizing someone, and that is a major tool they are going to use against their victims. They are going to use this major tool against their victims, because if no one notices your visibility, who are you? You know, your entire existence is being wiped out because no one notices you. And the worst part about it is that it's coming from someone you hold dear. So if you're holding this person dear and the person doesn't hold you dear, you're left confused, like, what in the world happened? Who is this person? Who am I? Like, am I anything? Am I of value? You question your own reality. You question your existence. You question your identity. You question God, because he has brought you people together. So why is it that this person doesn't even see me, doesn't recognize me? They are literally telling you, you do not matter. And if you do not matter, then who am I walking around to think I matter? Someone will be quick to say, oh, but you must know your own identity. The thing is that if you are married to a person who is making you feel like you don't matter, you start questioning yourself. One thing about these abusers is that the less you are, the more they become. That's why they are going to neglect you, because that state of confusion they leave you in, you're wallowing in that. You start eating dust like the devil. You think you're stupid, you think you're nothing, you don't matter, you're useless. You know, as you're wallowing that way, they are shining. And among people, they'll say, I keep encouraging her. I keep encouraging her, but she doesn't see it. You're beautiful, but she doesn't see it. But when you're behind closed doors, you're the ugliest thing alive. They never knew you were that ugly. It's like you're wearing this, Victorian makeup, and suddenly you removed it, and now you gave them this byproduct of what in the world. They can't make out who you are. Two, they are going to minimize the abuse they are taking you through. You'll hear statements such as, is it only that? You're being too sensitive. Some years ago, I was watching a certain medical, I can't remember, a medical show like this. There was this lady on that medical show. She was doing a cloth line for dogs. I love dogs, people. But people in the Western world, they'll come up with everything. Their dogs wear clothes and all that. Now she was doing this dog cloth line, and you would see she had the passion for it. She's married to this guy who appeared like he was helping, but on the side you'd see him, he's giving off this condescending laugh and look. If that's what she wishes and there's market for it, encourage her. But here, what was he doing? He was just, like, he's laughing on the side. I was so disgusted. I was so, people, oh, he's so cool. I said, no. Your character is what makes you handsome. You're busy laughing at your wife's effort. And people actually outside that, she was getting genuine encouragement, and people were uploading her for her dog cloth line. But this fool here was laughing at her. Like, is that what she can come? Is that the best? People are thinking of other things. But what works for other people does not necessarily work for you. But I'm glad this woman stood in her space. She was grounded to know, this is what I want. There's market for it, and I have a passion for it. And I'm glad she really got a team around her that helped her achieve her goal. A narcissist will invalidate you. A narcissist will minimize you. And as they are minimizing you, they are invalidating you. So this is why you can question who you actually are. And it in that very short, she actually was beat up about it. Someone who should be encouraging her is talking trash about her dog cloth line. It was a painful scene. 3, these people are going to invalidate you through their rigid ways of intimacy or touch. Let me say you've moved into this house. You have your closet, he has his own closet. You arrange things the way you want in your closet. Guess what? He'll come and rearrange things for you in your own closet. And you're like, what in the world? He's like, no, I prefer them this way. They look better. That. And you're like, this is not how I want them. I want them this way. You will rearrange them the way you want. Guess what? You may step out and come back. And you go back and forth regarding your closet arrangement. And that is how they want it. 1, they are in control. 2, they see the frustration that you're going through, and that frustration is negative energy to them, and they are drawing from it. So once it takes you off, they are going to like it. So to counter that, appear to like everything in that area. What you don't like is what they will like. 4, everything is about them. It is similar to the closet issue. These people are toddlers in the making. They are self-centered, egotistic children. They want everything to revolve around them. Your plans, your dress code, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you cook, everything must revolve around them. Short of it, they will be upbeat about it. They will rage. So by everything being about them, they invalidate you. Remember, there's no reciprocity. Godly relationships, there's reciprocity. You remember, these people are kleptomaniacs. They keep taking. You are an altruist. Genuinely, you're giving. So as you're giving, for them they are taking. And remember, they are an abyss. So much as they are swallowing, they can never be satisfied. And that's why they'll keep looking for other people to make sure they are the center of those people's lives. These people love the dominant situation. The rest of you are the worship team. They want flying monkeys around them. They want people who say, yes, sir. Jump how far. You don't question, you just do as they want you, or they want things to be done for them. 5, these people are unreliable. These people are unavailable when you need them the most. And if they appear to be available, they are not consistent. Let me give an example. If you fell sick, it would be the worst position you're in when you're with a narcissist. And women get this. If you're pregnant, you are in it alone. The whole thing is that when you're sick, you need attention. Remember, one of the major traits of a narcissist is that they crave attention, adulation, affirmation, and admiration. One of the major traits. And so if they crave that, and you're in a position that you would be sharing the very trait that they crave, guess who will be kicked out of the lane? It is you. They hate the fact that you also need attention. They want you to serve them, sustain them all you want, but you should be given attention despite you needing it. You may be bedridden and they're not going to help you. But the moment they hear people coming around or there's a knock, they are going to rush and be attuned to your needs. And everyone is like, wow, you're so caring. And the person is like, we are just doing our best. It is not easy, but we are doing our best. The moment these people leave, also we are doing our best lives. They're back to themselves. They're on TV, they're on phone, they are doing their own stuff. You can ask them for a cup of water over and over, and they're telling you wait 5, 10, 20 minutes. You can be coughing your lungs out and they're not coming to attend to you. They are that heartless. You cannot expect a good fruit from a bad tree. The very worst thing is convincing yourself that they will change. They don't change. That personality disorder was a result of trauma in childhood. You didn't create it and you can't cure it. They were nurtured that way. So they are stuck there. But one thing is that when the narcissist coughs, they want the entire world to go and stand still. What has happened? He has coughed or she has coughed. You honestly feel like you are nothing. They invalidate you that way. You realize I'm in this alone. There's no one going to help me. 6, these people will be critical of your feelings, thoughts, opinions, you name it. They cannot empathize with you. There was a time when a lady spoke of how she had lost, I think it was her mother, and as she she was crying her heart out. She's broken. This was someone so dear to her. Her husband got to know of it, and he comes in. It appeared like he was going to console her. When he found out when he asked her what is it, like he did not know. She said that mom who had died, he told her something to the effect of, we are all born to die, so it's useless to cry about it. We are all one day going to die. It was a wake-up call. She was broken, but this was a person who was not bothered. There's a case here in Uganda of a famous couple. I'll keep bringing them up because it has been a perfect case study. One is following narcissistic personality disorder. Their case is a perfect one, especially the grandiose narcissist. It's a perfect case. Pastor Teddy lost her mom some time back, and Bujingo, the ex-husband, whom the late mother-in-law at one point had helped him even financially when they were really struggling, and I think even helping them, get something to eat, put something on the table for them. When she died, he did not go. All he said that let the dead bury their dead. The nation was shocked. But if you understand, if you have knowledge on narcissistic personality disorder and how these people behave, those things are not going to shock you. They may surprise you a bit, but they won't shock you because you understand the nature of a demonic entity. You understand wickedness. You understand evil. When you get this knowledge, you're not shocked. You see these things, they follow the same script. They do not alter. These people are godless in nature. It is only a godless person who is that insensitive. It's a godless person who lacks empathy, who lacks love. Psychologists will say empathy, but the actual emotion there is love. They lack love, and God is love. Such people ask you, was it who asked you to give us? Even when they themselves asked. So, these people lack empathy. And like I said, the worst position for you to be in is when you're sick. They want you to attend to them, but they cannot attend to you. They will only attend to you when people are around. So, they are not consistent. You cannot rely on them. And the other thing about them, when they are criticizing you, they want you to take the criticism graciously. But ever dare to criticize them, that is another thing altogether. What is good for the gander is not necessarily good for the goose. So, you people on different plates, for them they have the right to insult you, to criticize you, to demean you, to do everything, but you have no right to give back the very measure they are giving you. They are the ones who are too quick to point out two wrongs don't make a right. God says do not pay back evil. They'll continue doing the evil to you, but they'll rush to throw in scriptures, as God says, do not pay back evil with evil. When you're paying back that evil, it's not that you're being evil, and it's not that it's evil, especially if you're defending yourself. That is not evil. You're being just at that point. 7, These people are going to invalidate you by projecting their feelings onto you. They'll tell you things such as you are lying, you are mean, you are selfish, you are self-centered, you only think about yourself, you never do anything for me. When you listen closely, I mean, you'll go up in arms like, I do all those things for you. I don't lie. I'm ever doing things for you. Whenever I'm buying something, I actually buy for you. I do things for you. I do ABCD. And you're instead telling me I don't do it. You'll go into a defensive mode, and they're enjoying seeing you grasp at straws because they are not going to believe anything you're saying, much as they know it's true. Especially if you're codependent, you are going to double down on the effort you're doing in the relationship. If you're at Saloon C, they are doing your nails great, you're now going to Saloon A just to impress him, all just to meet his expectations. But the moment you learn that he is just projecting, basically he is expressing his feelings by accusing you of those very feelings he himself is experiencing, you stop invalidating yourself. 8, these people are going to rage at you. This is where you'll find that if you're sharing something they did wrong to you, you're expressing your displeasure at what they did to you. These people will rage because they do not want you to fault find them. At that point, you are coming at their perfect image, which is omnipotent. So how can you tell someone who has a God-like nature, who is God in their eyes? These people are going to guard that pseudo image with everything they have. They make you feel like you are being too picky, or you are being too childish to bring up such an issue. It will also make you feel like you cannot express yourself because you know each time you bring up something, he's going to go into a fit, and that fit may end up you being punched, and that way they invalidate you. 9, these people are going to make jokes about you. They'll make jokes maybe about your weight. That cloth would look good, except that is like for an elephant, you know. And among people, they usually target, when they're making jokes, many a times they love making jokes in front of people. There must be an audience so that they laugh. And when you can't react a certain way, if you're reacting, say you're crazy, or you're being too much, you're being too sensitive, if you respond, it is almost like you're being compliant about it. But you realize this person keeps demeaning you on the inside and on the outside, and on the outside they double down on it. They go full savage on you. You walk like an elephant, you sit like this, you know, they are demeaning you at every point. There's a certain saying, envy has a way of displaying its head through jokes. As they keep joking about you that way, it keeps chipping at your identity, and in the end you just feel so beat down. And you'll find genuine friends who are telling who'll step in and they'll be like, no, what you're doing is not right. And these people are just like, I don't know what's wrong with your friends. There's a way they are reacting. There's a way this, there's a way that. They are coming to your defense, and yet you couldn't even say anything, for you were just casually. Or did you tell them to defend you? They spin everything. They spin everything back to them. Yeah, you're not even being flexible. Imagine a rigid person is accusing you of not being flexible. Keep yourself grounded. Always speak out when something is not right, because these people keep taking advantage. Whenever you're speaking up, it means there's you're setting a boundary. They hate people with boundaries. Anyone with boundaries means that this person is limiting their powers. Remember, they are omnipotent. That feeling you get of being pressed and all that is telling you someone is overstepping their boundary. Listen, he was comfortable enough to do it in that audience. Do it in that very audience. If it was private, do it in private. Because you do it in private, when it was done in an open environment, the other people are going to borrow a leaf and also start discrediting you. And this is how you'll find flying monkeys or useful idiots. So the worship team are also taking jabs at you, just because your spouse or your partner took a jab at you in public. One thing you must remember is that God validates us. Before you were knitted in your mother's womb, he knew you. He called you to be a prophet unto the nations. He calls you fearfully and wonderfully made. He calls you blessed beyond measure. So do not allow a naysayer to try and pull you down or invalidate your existence. Remember, your identity is wrapped up in Christ. People who try to invalidate you, make you question your identity, those people are not godly. They want you to lean on them to get an identity. Narcissists do not have an identity of their own. They keep faking different identities. That's why they are chameleons. They can pretend to be one thing with someone, they pretend to be another thing with another person. Do not let a person who lacks an identity of their own, who doesn't know who they are, to give you an identity. You were created in the image of God, and that image of God is the Christ, and the Christ is the Word. So bury yourself in His Word. Thank you so much for watching. Blessings.